Hi, I'm Lori. Welcome to my apartment. We've had quite a few storms here. Seems like every day there's been some lightning or something going on. Some rain, which it's cooled it off, but my power went out the other night, so no air conditioning, and I didn't get a lot of sleep the night before, and I didn't get much sleep that night, but I noticed I was fairly miserable without a fan. But I noticed if my mind, if I wasn't thinking and I was just kind of faced the window in my room and looked out at the trees and listened to the crickets and the frogs, then my nervous system would calm down. If I started to think and have an I thought, like I'm miserable, blah, 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 then like my body would have a reaction. And so I needed that to see that a lot of, I guess, my suffering comes from my mind and my thinking. And the less thoughts that I have, the less suffering I have. Now, can I control my mind completely? I don't think so, because I've meditated for years, and sometimes there's a lot of thoughts, and sometimes it's almost like manic, where there's a lot of crazy thoughts. But if I kind of just let it go and just kind of be in it, and not at a distance, but just kind of sit with it, then it'll come to a completion, and I'll remember, I'll have like a blocked memory come up, and those kind of free me. So I don't want to completely suppress things, but those are no fun, and I don't think I want to go through them anymore. I've had, since I've been sober, I've had a lot come up. I don't have a lot of memories, and some of them aren't what you would think would be traumatic, but I guess whenever they happened, I didn't know how to deal with them. So, and it kind of, I guess, got frozen in me, and I don't know, something will trigger those, and then I have to go through a process, and my mind is kind of, on the way I see it, it's kind of chatting it up, so to kind of cover it up. And the other night I had one where it was just getting, when I was little, getting spanked in public, and that really hurt my ego. It was like shameful, and it really made me mad. So I carried that kind of that shame and that anger with it, because I was too small to do anything, but I wanted to fight. And yeah, that came up as a memory, and like through that, I don't know, through my body, like I'll start feeling all weird and kind of vibrating, and but yeah, that came up, and I can let that go. I did that EMDR therapy, and that kind of set this stuff off, and maybe meditation too. But after that, and then the hot night, and noticing my thoughts, my I thoughts, or I'll start thinking about somebody else and their problems, which is really none of my business. So yeah, and sometimes I'm looking at somebody else's problem, or even trying to help somebody, so I don't have to deal with my stuff. I've noticed that too. So where does that leave me? Well, today it leaves me fairly calm, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I've learned to do my best to trust God, and when I can't and I have all these emotions, it's probably something from childhood that I'm kind of clinging on to maybe I'm used to feeling a certain way. I'm not really for sure. But in recovery, we're taught if you want a different life, you got to do something differently. And today, like, I'm willing to sit through some of those really hard emotions and those bring up those memories because I do want a different life. I want joy and peace and the things I'm promised with my higher power. So I don't know, it was just really hard to, in recovery, to just trust my higher power. And maybe that's what they call self-will. But there's something psychologically if, because I see my higher power as associated with a man, and I've had some negative instances with men, so it was really hard for me to trust that higher power. I had to kind of go really slowly and work through it. I think other people, I'm not sure, maybe they come to surrender very quickly with their higher power, but it's taken me a while, and the more I can trust, the more faith and hope that I have, the better my life is, regardless of what's going on around me. Do I have what, if somebody from the outside looking in, would they say I have the best life? I don't know. I don't know. I know that I really love my children, and I have put good relationships with them, and like my youngest son's coming over today, and that's really the most important thing to me in my life. And I feel like my life purpose is to be a mother and to help other women in recovery the best that I can. Now, I always feel like I should be doing more, but that's not really trusting God. I'm just try to balance everything out, because if I do too much there and I feel awful, that's not really what this is about. So just try to, keep a good balance of not being too selfish and then not trying to get in everybody's business and save them. So, because I have selfishness and I have codependency. So trusting my higher power is kind of the balance point, or the heart. Okay, that's all I got. Love you guys. Bye.